Hello! How are you? I know it's been a while. I really missed being an active content creator, even though my schedule at its peak can only accommodate very occasional activity. Purely for archival purposes, I wanted to make a straightforward video talking about where I've been, where I'm at, and what my goals are for the future. To start off with where I've been, it's honestly been a really embarrassing sequence of setbacks. My TikTok has multiple videos in a row explaining excuse after excuse for my absence until I realized posting TikToks consistently wasn't sustainable for my online presence. But with that realization comes the acceptance that a lot of VTuber activities don't really align with my interests in ways I wish they would. I grew up raised by YouTubers like Markiplier and Jacksepticeye, and video production has always been my dream. When I found VTubing and realized that it was, as an art form, perfect for me, I felt as though the only way I could fit in was by streaming. That streaming was the only way for me to be considered a VTuber. I also got swept up in networking on Twitter while trying to create a community for my debut years in advance. While this is an important part of VTubing and definitely necessary for those who intend to make their living online, it was too demanding for me. I'm a full-time student and I have a job. 2 jobs during the summer. Networking requires so much energy and resilience, as well as hours dedicated to pumping out content quickly and consistently. I simply do not have the time nor energy to uphold that kind of output and social interaction, especially when VTubing has always been second to my professional passion and studies, which also require similar output efforts, namely networking and online activity. I had been extremely passionate about VTubing for years. I first started planning my activities on December 24th, 2020. In spring of 2021, I took live 2D lessons from an extremely skilled rigger because rigging is a really useful and, for me, fulfilling skill to have. I knew that with my budget and resources, I wouldn't debut until 2023 during the summer after I graduated high school. In the meantime, I used an amateurly rigged chibi model to stream pre-debut, garner support and connections, and get myself out there. I posted frequently on Twitter, and when I ran out of ideas and lost traction, I posted frequently on TikTok. Through this, I actually did make close friends who I still love and talk to today, and when I debuted on July 2nd, 2023, I was surrounded by friends I'd known both for many years and only a few months. But that brings us to where I'm at now. Where I'm at now, I don't have time to script, record, and edit a minute-long TikTok that will take multiple hours to produce. I don't have time to post every single entertaining thought I have, and I have a lot of them, knowing my Twitter account has lost all reach. In the end, I don't even like streaming. It's just not my type of content. I've never wanted to watch live streams, and it's never been natural to me to want to do it myself in the way that sometimes I wake up and know I have the perfect idea for a video. So, what does this mean for my content moving forward? For the sake of my health, I've taken a large step back from posting on all VTubing platforms. While I balance an extremely rigorous academic and fine arts program, I don't have the capacity to worry about my numbers when VTubing has always only been meant to be my hobby. It's really overwhelming when all the advice I followed online and growing my accounts was so focused on reach. I felt like my only option as a content creator was to pour all my effort into being bigger, better, and more famous, even though the words being conveyed were just do what makes you happy and your people will find you. The suggestion was always to pump out content at a rate that would be negligent of my studies and my health. I think there's a much larger conversation to be had about the expectation that VTubers should stop complaining about having no reach when the alternative is pouring every second of every day into the world's unluckiest gamble of a future career. But I'm not graduating from VTubing. There's a part of me that wants closure to this chapter of my life. If I can't sustainably be a VTuber, I want to know I can say goodbye to this project, so to speak, which made me happy for so many years, but I don't want to think that's necessary. Maybe I'm allowed to enjoy creating content at my own pace and in a way I genuinely enjoy. Maybe I can post a TikTok once per year when I get a good idea. Maybe I can plan video essays and focus on recording music both for YouTube and for myself without feeling guilty for not live streaming video games. Maybe someday I'll change my mind and want to live stream video games, and it'll be okay. The important part is that I don't have to die with my energy level. I'm a whole person, and I deserve comfort in my hobbies rather than self-imposed obligation. Where does this leave me in terms of the future of my content? Well, like I said, I'll post at my own pace. That will be really hard since I'm focusing mostly on my studies and savings, as well as growing my career outside of VTubing. Passion is really hard for me since it tends to eat up my whole body and soul when I'm in the thick of it and abandon me when I need to keep going. And I have so many things I'm passionate about. I've found new art forms that I want to invest in, and it's hard to keep track of them all. But I am truly dedicated to the things and lifestyle I love, and I will find a way to balance my 5 million hobbies with my livelihood. Even if it means going MIA for months, I'll still be here. As a student and working citizen, I do want to remind you that my commissions for drawing, animated GIFs, and live 2D models are still open and some of the cheapest you'll find on the market. I do need to support myself and my dreams somehow, and I'm happy to offer my services in exchange. I'm currently saving up to cover my medical resources and hopefully someday top surgery, so every penny counts. Before I leave, I want to take this opportunity to make something very clear. Free Palestine. I've been MIA online for months, but I will not allow for any confusion in where I stand. If you support Israel's war crimes, you can get as far away from me as possible. I will share some helpful resources in the description in case you are looking to get educated or for ways to support Palestinian lives. My account is small, but I need it to be known that Palestine is currently experiencing a genocide that cannot be ignored, and I will not under any circumstance be complicit. If you have the time, you should really consider checking out the resources I've shared. Thank you.